Good evening, I'm John Carter and welcome to Poland Daily. President Andrzej Duda has decided to convene the inaugural sitting of the Sejm of the new term at the latest possible date, which is November the 12th. It has been confirmed that Iwona Śledzińska-Katarasińska will be the Speaker of the Sejm and Barbara Borys-Demińska will take the position of Senior Marshal. Both MPs are part of the Civic Platform party.
First sitting of the Sejm will take place on November 12, and I will tell you why now that is. According to the Constitution, Mr. President has 30 days to convene the first sitting of the Sejm and the Senate. However, the term of office of the Sejm lasts 4 years. The first sitting of the previous term of office took place on November 12, 2015, and lasts until November 11 this year. In view of the above, the date of November 12 was chosen as the first date of the meeting of the new term. Senator Speaker of the Senate will certainly be Senator Borys-Demińska, as she is the oldest senator, while as for the Speaker of the Sejm, I would bet on MP Śledzińska-Katarasińska because of her being the oldest MP.
The European Council has approved an agreement for the United Kingdom's exit from the European Union, which was concluded yesterday by EU and British negotiators. Although there is no agreement on the draft of the new EU budget presented by Finland. Poland and several other countries are demanding increased funds.
The two-day summit of the European Union held in Brussels was concluded with a long-awaited agreement between the European Union and the United Kingdom regarding Brexit, although everything depends on tomorrow's session of the British Parliament. If the House of Commons accepts the agreement, it will require a final acceptance of the European Parliament. The second important topic of the summit was the European Union's budget. Finland's proposal regarding this matter was quite controversial. According to the proposal, the US budget was to be reduced by €85 billion. The member states, including Poland, don't agree to this idea. The Prime Minister of Poland, Mateusz Morawiecki, said that he hopes that the EU's funds dedicated to the agricultural policies won't be reduced because it wouldn't be beneficial for Poland.
Spójności nie były zmniejszone, bo to wtedy uderzyłoby bezpośrednio w Polskę.
We could talk about Europeanness, but what is it? When it comes to the strategic dimension, it is an expansion of impacts. Closing the door to all of the smaller but important countries would be wrong. The countries that want to reduce the budget are deeply inconsistent in their messages. Poland believes that the budget should increase.
Wszystko wskazuje na to, że ta na razie wstępna propozycja.
Everything indicates that Finland's decision is not going to be accepted. The European Commission wants the budget to be higher than in Finland's proposal.
Były wyższe.
Civic Platform is demanding that Marian Banished, the president of the Supreme Audit Office, be brought before a state control committee. The party's MPs want Banished to clarify his asset declarations. On October the 16th, the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau completed an audit of this matter and presented reservations to the statements made by the president of the Supreme Audit Office. He now has 7 days to address said reservations.
We would like to appeal to the Speaker of the Sejm, Marshal Witek, and to the Chairman of the State Control Committee, Mr. Duda, for urgent, extraordinary convocation of the State Control Committee in order for President Banished to explain his property declarations and alleged connections with the criminal world. We cannot wait with regards to this matter. The Poles have the right to know exactly what is happening around Mr. Banished. We demand a commission, as Mr. Nitras mentioned, but we also have a demand for the Central Anti-Corruption Bureau. As you know, Mr. Banished has only a few days to respond to the audit requests, but the report should be made public immediately.
After talks with the Turkish President Recep Erdogan, the US Vice President Mike Pence announced that Ankara has agreed to a ceasefire in Syria and that the US sanctions imposed on the country will be lifted. Pence said that Turkey will suspend all military operations for 120 hours in order to allow the Kurdish militants to leave the border belt in northeastern Syria. Kurdish representatives confirmed that they approve of the ceasefire, but they will defend themselves if they are attacked.
As part of the truce, Turkey is expected to suspend all military operations to allow Kurdish warriors to withdraw from the border zone in northeastern Syria. After this condition is met, a permanent ceasefire is to be made. As part of the agreement, it was also decided that Turkish troops would be able to remain in their positions, where they would create a safe zone under Turkey's jurisdiction. Mike Pence also threatened that if Turkey does not respect the truce conditions, the United States will not withdraw its current sanctions and will implement further ones. Ankara expressed satisfaction with the truce conditions, as it would in fact not bear any consequences for the invasion of northeastern Syria. The truce was also approved by Kurdish militants affiliated with the Syrian Democratic Forces, who announced they would abide by it. However, as the Kurd commander added, the agreement is limited only to border areas between the towns of Ras Al Ain and Tal Abyad. He also expressed hope that this would prevent Turkey from achieving its offensive goals. However, this morning the first reports appeared about breaking the truce conditions. There was a gunfight around Ras Al Ain. Witnesses also report that smoke has appeared above the city. Until now, it is not known who committed this act.
Thank you very much for joining us here this evening at Poland Daily. I'm John Carter. Stay tuned after the break for Poland Daily weather. It's followed by the business, then it's the culture, the history and finally the travel.